The word crunch is fairly flexible. In the world of snacks, it's a delicious chocolatey treat. In the world of fitness, it's a fantastic ab workout. As a sound, there isn't much that beats the crunch of a leaf in autumn. But in the world of video games, crunch is something that can destroy a project, ruin relationships, and work developers to the bone. The definitions vary from place to place, but as a general rule, crunch is a phenomenon where somebody works hard on a project for long hours repeatedly to meet certain deadlines or to get a project to where it needs to be. Is it ironic that this video was supposed to be scheduled to upload for the day after my dissertation is due, where I'll inevitably be a part of this crunch culture? So, first things first, is crunch bad for games? At first glance, no, why would it be bad for a game? The developers are literally spending more time on it, ironing out all the creases and speeding up the production of the games. And hey, it wouldn't be so bad if this was the case, but the further you look into it, the easier it is to see the cracks in that logic. Firstly, all of these extra hours are only being piled onto the devs because of a lack of time. There really isn't any reason for a company to go at a steady pace for 95% of the time making a game, then for the last 5% go absolutely fucking bonkers. Generally, there's been some bad time management or unrealistic promises made on the release date, so none of this time is going towards ironing out the creases or making the game better. It's going towards forcing sleep-deprived developers, fueled on nothing but coffee and pure unbridled hatred at whatever bastard bestowed this upon them, actually getting some sort of game finished in time. These poor souls are not working at full capacity at all. They're likely completely burnt out and exhausted, which, let's be honest here, isn't exactly going to be good for the quality of the game. If we look at one of the most famous examples in recent years, Cyberpunk, we can see just how ineffective crunch really is. While crunch wasn't mandatory for employees for a long time, higher-ups have stated that at a time, crunch would need to be mandatory to get the game finished. And above all of this, the developers aren't just doing a job then going home and not thinking about it. This is a project they've been putting a whole lot of their time and energy into. It's something they want to see succeed. So the developers would work stupid amount of hours, trying and trying and trying, and finally, after years of development, the game gets rated 3.5 out of 10. Can you imagine how shitty it must have felt for the developers to have the game they've just spent so much time creating being destroyed by bad time management and poor choices right at the end, made by higher-ups? It isn't the game's fault, and we know this because overall, reviews started to get better and better after all of the issues started to get patched out, but too little too late, Cyberpunk is now the poster boy of crunch. If the developers were just given more time to make the game playable, yeah, it may get a reputation of being the game that kept getting delayed, but it would also have been known as the game that put quality over fast money. Crunch really doesn't benefit anyone, other than, I guess, shareholders. The developers are fucked over, the players get a shit game in the end, and even the company gets this reputation of releasing unfinished games. The only way of trying to get rid of crunch is with your wallet. Don't support these shit-stained shareholders. Save your money, spend it on an indie game, buy a skin for a game you hate, I don't care. Just think twice before you buy half a game.